It's no secret that I love Power Rangers. Its cheesy silliness, the action, and its ability to tell a surprisingly mature story. Oh, and it has some of the best finales in the history of ever.
However, that doesn't mean it hasn't had its fair share of crap. Which brings us to today's subject, the 15th anniversary team-up special, Once a Ranger.
We start off with... This is, without a doubt, one of the worst theme songs I have ever heard.
Then again, this is Operation Overdrive, the worst season of Power Rangers ever.
We actually start off with Camdor and Miratrix robbing a museum. Also, Miratrix is spouting a pretty cool soy phone cosplay. They then engage the Rangers and retreat after about a minute or so.
Well, that was an abject waste of fucking time.
We cut to Furious receiving a message to meet someone.
Judging by the look of that device, I'm assuming it's someone connected to Divatox.
Meanwhile, the Rangers are being celebrated by the public for driving Camdor and Miratrix away.
Yes, driving away those villains that could come back at any time is truly worth celebrating.
Speaking of Camdor and Miratrix, they receive the same message as Furious. However, unlike Furious, they're not interested, but are taken anyway because reasons. They also aren't the only ones there, as Moltor and the Fear Cats are there as well.
That's the one thing about Overdrive that everyone seems to like. The multiple villain factions. Well, the idea of the multiple villain factions, because the execution is fucking horrible.
So, the person who gathered them here finally shows himself and... Oh, Animus. That's just awful. This is Thrax. And believe it or not, he's Rita and Zed's son.
And I bet you all just died a little inside. Don't worry, that feeling is normal when watching any episode of Overdrive.
Thrax proposes a temporary alliance among the villains to eliminate the Rangers, which they all agree to. Cut to the Rangers, they talk about how cool being a Ranger is and how their lives beforehand were boring.
Did I mention that the Overdrive Rangers are a bunch of mouth-breathing, annoying dickbags?
I thought my life was adventurous before, but now it's like, something out of a movie.
Die in a fire, Dax. Also, Taizan has to remind the team that their job is to protect the world. God, I hate them. The Alliance calls out the Rangers and absolutely shit-stomps them, giving them their own Cal-explosions.
So, what's a Cal-explosion, you may ask? Well, it's what Disney decided to do when they tried to cut down the violence of Power Rangers. And if you're wondering what kind of sense that makes, don't worry, we're all trying to figure it out.
So the Alliance combined their power to damage the morphing grid and the Overdrive morphers. But rather than destroy the Rangers right then and there, they decide to let them stew in their own defeat after the Sentinel Knight teleports them out of there. Even though several of the villains know where the Rangers live.
You are just comprised to fail, aren't you?
Apparently, they're all taking a page out of the manual of How to Be a Shonen Villain.
Reports of the Alliance attacking come in, and the Rangers head to Stonehenge and start fighting Camdor and one of the Fear Cats, Mig. However, even though they still have their civilian powers, the Rangers still get their asses kicked. It looks like the Rangers are done for, until...
Who are you?
Surprise! Hello.
Hey! Look out! Let the games begin!
Oh, thank Dialga, more competent and likable characters. Though I have to question how Tori and Kira got their powers back, and why Bridge is here, and why he's a Red Ranger, not green. But I do like the use of each of the Veteran Rangers theme songs, save for Adam because it's not the original Mighty Morphin theme.
Yeah, apparently there were some rights issues involving the music, which doesn't make any fucking sense since Disney would air reruns of Mighty Morphin, so I'm just gonna chalk it up to them not giving a fuck.
Thanks. Whoever you are.
Wait, whoever you are? You mean to tell me these jackhats have no idea who these Rangers are? I can understand Bridge because he's from the future, but the others they should at least be familiar with. Especially Adam, seeing how many times he saved the Soul Society.
Is anyone else confused here?
You fucktards do realize you're not the only Ranger teams to exist.
It's not a good sign for your anniversary special when the current Ranger team has no knowledge of past Ranger teams. Well, except Bridge because SPD hasn't happened yet. But my point still stands.
Also, we get an explanation as to why Bridge is a Red Ranger now.
Yeah. Well, long story short, our mentor, who's a dog, got promoted to head of SPD, which used to be run by a bird, but he retired and went down to Miami, and then Sky got promoted, and I got promoted, and that's why I'm the Red Ranger.
I have asked these previous Power Rangers to help in this time of crisis. I was able to channel some of my remaining energy to restore their powers.
Wait, what? So the Sentinel Knight can barely hold an incorporeal form, but can restore 2 sets of dead Ranger powers, repair a damaged set, and bring a Ranger back from the future? And come to think of it, since Kira is working with Bridge, why didn't she recognize him and have her powers in the SPD team up? Has she graduated high school yet, seeing how the Dino team was attending their high school reunion in the team up episode? And if she has graduated, it couldn't have been that long, seeing how Dino Thunder was only 3 years ago at this point. Jesus Christ, how far does this rabbit hole go?
Wait, what was I talking about again?
Right, the episode. So the Sentinel Knight replaces the Overdrive team with the Veteran Rangers.
Thank you. We finally have competent protagonists.
Hey, don't worry. I'm sure you'll be back to action in no time.
Yeah, we're just pinch hitting for you till you get your powers back.
You mean if we get our powers back?
Every party needs a pooper, that's why they invited you. Party pooper, party pooper.
So, after a completely pointless scene, the Alliance is pissed at Thrax about the Veteran Rangers. Which brings up the question of why they don't know about past Ranger teams, but that would require actual thought.
Are you starting to see why these episodes are so fucking terrible?
So, because the Overdrive team lost their Ranger powers, they decide to quit. Why? You still have your civilian powers to deal with the foot soldiers and support the Veteran Rangers and Hartford's technology at your disposal. But no, just because things get tough, you all decide to give up. Worst Rangers ever.
And it's not like the Veteran Rangers are going to be permanent replacements. They still have lives and duties outside of being Power Rangers. God, you're all a bunch of whining, complaining jackhats.
So part 2 begins with the Veteran Rangers arriving in an abandoned warehouse in Angel Grove.
Because why would we want to go somewhere to, I don't know, like Ernie's Juice Bar and see what Lieutenant Stone is up to, or see what Bulk and Skull are up to in our anniversary episode?
Apparently looking for something when they are attacked by chillers.
G'day. Name's Xander. Let's just talk this one over.
Xander, when has that plan ever worked?
They fight them off in an admittedly cool Unmore fight scene set to their theme songs. And find what they're looking for, which is a crate with a poorly drawn Power Ranger symbol on it.
Yeah, but what good's being a Power Ranger if you don't have any power?
You do have powers, dipshit. Remember? Super strength?
However, this scene isn't a complete and total waste of time, as the magical MacGuffin sword Excelsior is revealed to be Thrax's true intentions.
And in case you're all wondering, no, Stan Lee does not make an appearance.
Hey, were you wondering what the Overdrive team is doing after they pussed out? No? Well, too bad, dipshit. We get to see them skulking around and pouting and moping about not being superheroes anymore. And not a single fuck is given. Mac finds Excelsior along with Thrax and the other Overdrive Rangers. How they knew he was there is never explained, but that's the least of the Special's problems.
So, You may all be wondering, well, what's in the box from earlier in the episode? Well...
Guys, where am I? Wow, I actually felt myself die a little inside.
A, which alpha is it? B, if it's Alpha 6, how the fuck did he get here because he was on Miranoi, which is another fucking planet? C, if it's Alpha 5, why in the high holy hell did Andros stuff him in a box to rust? And finally, how did Adam know he was there?
It also doesn't help that they give him such an annoying, grating voice.
With the countless times Johnny Young Bosch has saved the Soul Society, you'd think Wendy Lee might owe him a solid or two.
So Thrax decides to destroy Excelsior, but can't because he's not pure of heart or some shit, and instead of killing the powerless Power Rangers right then and there, he decides to fuck off because, shut up, the special needs to come to a climax anyway. The Rangers decide to give up after failing to obtain Excelsior, but it doesn't matter because they get it anyway without doing anything to earn it.
Now, Suzaku, what did we learn from all this? Nothing!
Also, Alpha is transported into the morphing grid, which doesn't make any sense because it's not an actual place. But why give a shit now?
Seriously, did anyone even care?
Ugh. So the veteran Rangers fight a monster in the Drive Max Ultrazord, but are getting their asses kicked when this happens.
Well, that's pretty stupid.
What else can I say other than that's just stupid?
What is the point of morphing or having Zords when Matt can just cleave a giant monster in two with no effort? Also, I wonder why Xander isn't in his Mystic Titan form, but that's the least of this scene's problems.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Ugh. So Excelsior restores the Sentinel Knight because reasons, and the Overdrive team comes back without learning anything.
Makes it easy!
Am I late for the party?
Who are you?
Alpha 6, at your service.
How? You on a different fucking planet and a different fucking galaxy! Just want things to make sense, you know?
So Alpha 6 fixes the morphing grid, and the two teams of Rangers confront the Alliance and have a callous explosion off until the day is won. And no one learns anything, and I die a little inside.
Once a Ranger is fucking terrible!
Terrible writing, awful pacing, plot conveniences everywhere. The Overdrive team at their utmost jackassery, Thrax, and most insultingly, absolutely no fucks were given in paying respects to Power Rangers and its continuity. The only good thing I can say about this piece of shit is that the veteran Rangers were pretty awesome, and it was nice to see Adam take a break from his Soul Reaper duties and come back to his roots.
Next time, let's look at something good from Power Rangers. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and wash my mouth out with soap. God, I hope I never have to do that shit again.